trying to get chat to appear. I just realized you guys weren't on screen the whole time. That's hilarious. There you are. Hello. Hello. All right, everybody. I'm switching you back over to the regular microphone and turning off the reverb. So give me just one moment. I'm sorry, I cannot get the cable into the mic. I cannot get the cable in. Like, it physically won't go in. 1 second. Hello? Yeah, there we go. The mic farted. Oh dear, the mic farted. Oh well, that's fine. Put my desk down, I'm gonna have a sit down. Ah. Oh. Wasn't that fun, guys? I was standing for that? Yes. Have you ever tried singing while sitting down? Where's my BGM? It's supposed to be playing right now. What the fuck? Go. Oh, I've muted it. Yeah. Alright, reverb off. Back to normal. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the after party. Thank you very much, Mela, for the super. Have any toys from your childhood? Well, I was a child a very, very long time ago, and I don't really remember having one. But my parents have shown me a little bear toy that I apparently used to have, but I have no memory of it, so I don't really have any attachment to it. I do have Baba the monkey, though. I do love him. Kamaki, thank you very much for the super. And Hakuma, thank you for the super. I love it when you sing in your native language. English is beautiful and cool. I'm learning English from you. When you sing happily, I feel happy too. I love your song. That's really, really nice of you to say. And I wanna quickly do a little aside and say that I've been really touched. I've been really, really touched recently to see the number of Japanese NIJISANJI fans who have been making a lot of Japanese language tweets about EN and about how much you've enjoyed watching EN and supporting EN. It really does mean the world, because the VTuber world is so different in Japan as it is in the rest of the world. There are so many conventions that you sort of have to deal with regarding the perception of the West versus Japan. And what I experienced, at least, what I loved the most was during Overture, which was the most amazing opportunity that I have ever had in my entire life, by bar none. Bar none, the most amazing thing that I have ever done or possibly will ever do, and I will never forget. We had a sold-out show. And obviously there are a ton of fans of NIJISANJI EN in Japan, but it was a lot of the audience was packed, completely sold out, because so many fans of Niji JP wanted to be there to support us, and that was the most incredible feeling. It was the most incredible feeling, and to know that we exist as a part of this legacy, and that we exist not just to try and find a foothold in the overseas VTuber world by imitating the success of those who came before, but also by doing our own thing. NIJISANJI has always been about the uniqueness of each individual liver. That's why there are so many of us. It's because there will be someone for everyone within this great organization. And it just made me feel so blessed, so excited, so happy to get the opportunity to be a part of that. And seeing a lot of the love recently has reminded me of that. So I just wanted to say thank you. For me, as a person, I'm someone who feels, it's maybe one of the reasons why The Boxer, that song, connects with me so much, is that I feel, you know, he mentions that in the clearing it stands the boxer, and when he leaves, the fighter still remains. I feel as though if I ever left, my soul would still be here. I don't think, for me, I feel far too excited. I feel far too attached to this place, to this work, and to these fans to ever truly move on. If I left, I would be thinking about it every day. So it makes me sort of accept, yeah, this is where I'm going to be, and I want more than anything to help EN grow. I want to help NIJISANJI as a whole grow. You know, I have all kinds of ideas, and whether or not I'll get to execute all of them is a mystery. It's up to fate at this point, but something brings me great comfort, to know that even though EN is a fledgling of JP, and we are taking what we've learned from the giants, you know, standing on the shoulders of giants and trying to execute that with an overseas audience, we are still being supported by the audience of the place we came from, and it's wonderful. Even with a language barrier, so many of you are still very eagerly supporting us, and I couldn't be more thankful for that. I think it's so valuable, especially when you are in this business, if you're on YouTube, because things are so wibbly wobbly. Things are difficult to be sure of. There's always going to be aspects of life that you're not certain about, aspects of work that you're not certain about. How much will you make versus 1 month versus the next? You generally, it's very difficult to know. And so having this huge group of people who are so passionate about being there for you, and supporting us simply for the sake of supporting us because you love NIJISANJI, is a tremendous comfort, and it makes us all feel like we have the chance to keep pushing, keep fighting for what we believe in. But then, if we need time, we have it, and that's a rare thing for anyone in content creation to have. And you know, I'm very grateful to have that. So I just really wanted to take an aside to say that I've been feeling very, very touched by all the love that I've been seeing on social media over the past couple of days. Yeah. Arigatou gozaimasu. Nihongo level 0. But I will always try. Maybe now Nihongo level 1. Maybe I'm getting a little better. Tanoshi. Oh gosh, hiragana is Itsumo tanoshi shinarigatou. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Arigato, 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 arigato. But yeah, thank you all. Back to the purpose of the stream. Thank you all for coming to the after party. We're just gonna have a little chit chat to round off the week, because obviously, do I still have to private the VOD? I think I do. Hold on, I think I need to do that because it's an unarchived stream. So, oh, staff just logged me out. What the fuck? Staff just logged me out. Oh no, I have to wait. Did they do it for me? No, wait. Let me hang on a minute. Staff just logged me out. No, they do that sometimes. Wait, oh, no, that's not. Oh shit! Hang on. Wait, if I just check, did staff log me out because they looked at it for me? Hang on. Oh bugger! I'm supposed to unarchive it. Oh, I'm an idiot. That must be what they're doing. They must have been like, this idiot. They've not done it. Oh my god, I've got to do it now. Okay. I'm gonna be really fast. I'm gonna unarchive it really fast. Hold on. I have to unarchive it. Oh, I'm such a silly bastard. I'm such a silly man. Oh dear. Hold on. God, of all the times. I was going to do it. I literally went into the YouTube studio to go and do it, like right before we started, and then the mic thing got me distracted. And oh my god, how do I keep doing it? How do I do it? The green stream got sniped? Really? Maybe it's the Blade Runner stuff. I have to send a support ticket to Licked to ask about that. Oh, it did. Look at that. Yeah, I'll have to talk to Licked about that, but I'll do that after the stream. Okay. Private. No, hang on. Wait. I'm back in private. There we go. Lovely. All right. There we go. Unarchived. Okay, let's not worry about that now. Oh. Misa, thank you very much for the super. Thank you for the super, Misa. Your singing voice is so amazing. So happy to have met you and to have been able to learn English. Ian daisuki. Mirodo daisuki. Itsumo arigatou. Arigatou gozaimasu. What does itsumo? What does itsumo mean? Itsumo arigatou meaning? Is that just like sort of like thank you always or thank you for everything? Ah, itsumo arigatou. I like it. Thank you so much. Itsumo arigatou. I should say that to you guys more often. Itsumo arigatou gozaimasu. Say thank you for the aku supa. You're literally the man who's made me cry the most. How dare you? You're doing so well. Your voice is so beautiful. Proud of you. May you always shine bright. Thank you for the karaoke and the beautiful burp. I'm never getting sparkling water during a karaoke again. That was a terrible idea. It was a terrible mistake. I was like, I've got plenty of water. It's fine. At least I had something yummy. In the meantime. Tender Dream, thank you for the aku supa. Thank you for the karaoke stream. Added a bunch of awesome songs to my playlist because of you. It's amazing to hear you sing. You're truly improving every time. I'm really, really glad to hear that. And that's all I want is, I'm going to do a karaoke every once in a while. And when I do, I just love it when you guys come along and you kind of hear me improve in little ways each time. Every time I do a karaoke, there's always like rough patches where I want to do something better, and I'm so glad to really be feeling that improvement. And I can do that because of all of you, because of you supporting me and wanting to listen to me improve rather than just wanting me to be perfect all the time. It's such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. Miko Plum, thank you for the super. I'm glad that you enjoyed my voice today. You discovered me through Overture. That's so sweet of you. Thank you every day. Itsumo arigatou. I'm so glad I get to have you today, and thank you very much for the super. Clover, thank you for the aku super. Thanks for another karaoke. Your high notes have really improved. They have, haven't they? I loved hearing the little stories behind why you picked the songs. Well, they are my favorites after all, and I really appreciate getting the chance to nerd out a little bit about all of these songs. There are a few that I discovered and sort of remembered too close to starting that I would have loved to sing. But there's always next time. We can do karaoke's all the time. I had so much fun. I'd love to do more of them. Ichiko, thank you for the super. Your song was lovely and your gentle voice melted my heart. It was a sweet time. Thank you so much. I love you too. I love you so much. it's kind of crazy to think that so many people discovered me through Overture, because Overture was, of course, you know, it's a limited time event and all of that kind of stuff, but it was big and it was crazy. And I hope you guys are a bit, I'm not sure if anybody's got their Blu-rays yet. I think you guys have, but hopefully you've been having fun rewatching everybody's performances and my solo. It brings me so much joy, because the funny thing about my solo is that I was so nervous about the direction I wanted to take it in. Whenever I listen to the song, I immediately saw that kind of a performance with the really bombastic dancing, the high energy, that kind of thing. I immediately saw that in my head, and I was like, I have to do something like that. And then when we were there with our amazing dance teacher Satoshi-san, and we were practicing, and I was there being like, can I do something like this? Can you teach me how to do something like this? I was so worried that I was like pushing the boat out too far. Maybe I was doing too much. Maybe I was like, I don't want to like, I don't want to do too much. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But in the end, and like I was learning those dances like right up until the day, like we were rehearsing for so long, and that when it finally happened, and when the big show happened, it felt so big. I still, you wanna know something? Because the choreography ends with me flopping back down into the chair, and I still remember to this day how I felt when I went back down. I've never felt more adrenaline, which is crazy considering the amount of stuff that I've done. The amount of, like, you know, I've been in real life-threatening martial combat, and I felt less adrenaline then than I did when I fell down into that chair and I heard the crowd. I was like, this is like what life is all about. This is like a story I'm going to tell my grandkids. Just the most unbelievable opportunity, the most insane thing that I have ever done. And to know that some of you found me through that is really, really heartwarming. Sky Kim, thank you for the super. Oh, well done. Wow, 5th prize. Wow. He said that I will win. I told you you're going to win. Told you you were going to win. I love you too. Venus, thank you for the super. I'm glad you liked it. Glad you liked the karaoke. I will. I love to sing. Didier, thank you for the super. Mwah. And Faith, thank you very much. Had Day be the only man that gets me to cry. I cried a lot yesterday. Now you make me emotional again. Bah. I can't help it. I just love, I don't know. I love really strong emotional experiences, and with my favorite films, my favorite pieces of art are always going to be the ones that make me the most emotional. Didn't the chair almost fall once and you almost died? Yes. The chair was fine during every rehearsal, and then suddenly during the final performance, I guess I was putting more energy into it because it was the big day, and I definitely felt it wobble, but I managed to stick the landing, and I definitely did. I maybe would have almost died, but I'm so glad that staff let me do the trick, because they were very nervous about it. They were saying like, okay, well, you know, are you sure you want to do that? And I was like, I have to do it. Wenty, thank you for the super. Of course I missed you. I'm glad you like my singing. Drink more water, take care of your throat. I will be drinking plenty of water. Don't worry. Ginjokas, thank you for the Aku Super. Great moment to tell you how much you inspire me to everything. Started studying English at 12. Wait a minute. I'm a little confused. I mean, I'm glad that you have... Wait. So, did you start learning English? Wait a minute. Were you watching me when you were 12 years old? I must be misreading that or something. That's definitely in the wrong place. Definitely not a stream. Thank you very much for the super. Regardless, we do have a rule. I've only been here for 4 years, so if at any point you were watching me and you were 12 years old, that means you are not 18, and so I'm afraid I do have to shut that, unless I'm misreading the message. No, I do have to go ahead and hide you from the channel. It's just how it has to be. I'm sorry. But yeah, I really want to make it consistent that only people over the age of 18 are allowed it. At 12. God, weird. Okay. I mean, it's not like, you know, obviously people themselves are gonna do whatever, but I'm not gonna support that. Jenny, thank you for the super. What an emotional yet beautiful karaoke. Thank you for singing all these songs and blessing us with your beautiful singing voice once again. Forever and always proud of you. Of course, thank you so much, Jenny. That's really sweet of you to say. Me babe, thank you. You really think I'm the best? You think I'm the best? I don't think I'm the best. I don't think I'm the best. I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty good. You know? Since 12 JST. If that's the case, then someone's got to let me know, because otherwise I would feel terrible. I'd feel terrible about. I mean, it was just worded in a way where I'm like, I don't want to take any risks, you know. I'm old. Hey, if you feel old, imagine if they meant to type 22. 12 JST. Well, I mean, studying English since like what, like an hour ago? No, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, no. Hope you take care of your throat. My throat feels fine. It's a little worn out, but it's going to be all right. It's going to be fine. It's not like, you know, because that singing, it wasn't, you know, I was straining a tiny bit. I think that the hard part about singing really is, you know, practice is so important, and you need to practice hard in order to sing the songs that you want to sing. The hardest part for me, I think, is breath control, and I was really struggling with it earlier. I managed to do good because what I wanted to do today, was to really try focusing on head voice. I wanted to try focusing on, you know, singing in a way that was lighter to kind of show, because I remember when I went to the lovely convention in Thailand, all of you were really, really pleased with some of my high notes on Heavy Lies the Head. And so also my high notes on Heavy Lies the Head. So I thought I need to do some more songs like that. But then when I was practicing this morning, I was running out of breath really fast, and I was getting lightheaded, and I thought, okay, well, clearly there's a lot more to this than I anticipated. You know, it's a different thing to sing a song like that you're so comfortable with, that's mostly very low pitched, and to do a couple ones rather than to sing a whole song like that. You know, it definitely made me feel very like, whoa. King? Well, I mean, I had to sing King when I did sing King for Overture. That was an octave down because that song is ridiculously high, absolutely unbelievably high. Like, even like we have amazing high pitched singers in NIJISANJI EN, and a few of them are like, oh man, I don't want like, that song is different. That song is so hard, but an octave down was just right for me. King is so high that there was some parts of that song that I was struggling to hit. Not couldn't, but I was struggling to hit and needed to work on it. When I first started, I needed to practice and work on it. There were some notes I couldn't hit an octave down. I was a whole octave below the regular song, and it was particularly, I really had to work on the, you know, that part. I was like, I was like, how is this still kind of too high, even an octave down? It's very difficult, but I did do it. I did do it in the end. Finn, thank you for the super. It's been surreal watching you improve so much. Your voice has developed incredibly. You're lovely. Thank you for singing Little Wonders twice. Yeah, I love that song so much. I remember I was staying in a little apartment in Japan for my 3D, and because I was there for all of Luxiem's 3Ds, I was in Japan for like a whole month. And I remember hearing that song and then listening to it. And I remember I was getting ready to go out at one point. Like, I was getting dressed, I was walking around. I remember singing it to myself and being like, ooh, this is good, you know. I remember at the time singing it with kind of like a lilting little head voice. These little wonders still remain. But you can't really do the whole song like that, but like just a little bit. So it was nice. Blooming, thank you for the super. I will always be here, don't you worry. I love you too. And Sabina, thank you very much for the super. Did amazing. Thank you. I love you too. Mwah. I've not seen Meet the Robinsons in a long time, but I do remember liking it when I did see it. It's just been a while. Game suggestion. Oh yes, I've been wanting to play Silent Hill F. I've heard good things about it. I've heard good things. So, in terms of next week's schedule, well, you want to know something? I would love to do... Blooming, thank you for 20 gifted. Oh my god, thank you so much for the gifted. In terms of like, if I want to get better at singing, maybe I should try doing karaoke streams more often. I don't know. Another one, but then what, you know, I've just done one which is like, these are a few of my favorite things, but what else is there to sing? I mean, obviously there's plenty. Oh, a new Chillers art game. Those are always classic to do. Those are always real classics. Yeah. We got to get back on Niji Enterprise. I have been so locked in on schedule. I've been schedule maxing that I haven't really had the time or energy to get on the server, which has been a big shame because I love playing on it. And it's been really nice, actually, even though it's like I was the one who set it up. And it's been so nice to see people logging on and having fun with it, even if I'm not there. So I'd like to do a few of those. I'd like to do a couple of those maybe next week and goof around and have a little fun there. We need to get the oil. Yes, we do. Never heard Puff the Magic Dragon in full before today, but it was so lovely, but damn, that made me cry. Yeah, man. Some of those songs were so brutal. I mean, Puff the Magic Dragon, obviously, it has, you know, it's more appropriate for children. You know, it's gonna make everybody sad. It's just something about the way it's sung is so, like, I don't know, it's really, really soft and nice, but it's so, like, suddenly just hits you with the yeah, and then this amazing thing, and then they just forgot about, and then he forgot about Puff, and it's over. Jackie Paper came no more. It's the one that gets me is, without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. And so, like, that's so sad. That's so sad. Try and see what voice you have, baritone or tenor. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm a bass or a baritone. You know, because this is just my normal speaking voice. I guess the hard part is, you know, my voice is quite naturally deep, and it makes it difficult to sing a lot of songs because most songs are written songs are more enjoyable generally when they're a little bit higher in pitch. So that, you know, it tends to be very difficult. I think my range is a bit limited, and I'm trying to just sort of stretch it in both directions and see what I can do. Lily, thank you for the super. Thank you for singing for us. I'm so proud of you, of singing how much you improved. A lot of songs made me so emotional because I could connect with them. You always have the right words. Oh, thank you. I'm really, really glad. And it's fun. I really enjoyed sharing a little bit of what I felt and what I thought about those songs. Pei-chan, thank you for the Aku Super. Thanks for sharing the songs you love. You sang them so beautifully. Really connected with them. They resonated with me and gently healed parts of my heart. I love you so much. That's really sweet. I'd love to sing more songs like this and to use this like kind of style of singing to do a little bit more. I've found, you know, I've been rediscovering my love of folk music, you know, like folk rock with Simon and Garfunkel, and Peter, Paul and Mary as well. I've always really enjoyed, you know, like nice acoustic guitar songs, but I've been really remembering that. I've been really remembering that recently. Cheskafi, thank you very much for the super. Missed hearing you sing. Setlist showed how nice your range is. Yeah, there was a decent range there. There was a part of me that was worried. It's like, because a lot of my personal karaokes have been a bit like boomer, because obviously I've had, you know, experiences with music from very, very long time ago. It reminds me of like my first, the Journey Through Time karaoke when I hit 1 million subscribers. I remember seeing a couple people saying like, this boomer ass playlist, not in a mean way, but it's kind of funny. There were a lot of older songs there. But really, I mean, it's like, what does it mean if it's only from the 80s? I think it's only from the 80s for a few of those songs. And then I remember, oh yeah, the 80s was 40 years ago. 45, the 1980 was 46 years ago, which is ridiculous. Shiro, thank you very much for the Akusupa. Thank you for the karaoke stream. It was a very comfortable and relaxing space. Your singing voice is truly lovely and I adore it. Love you. I love you too. Arigato. Itsumo arigato. I love your low voice like an atmosphere. Yeah. It's true. I think the hard part is what I would love to be able to do, because what I've experienced is when I want to join in and sing, I'll be like, I can do this, and I'll realize I have to go an octave down, and then when I sing an octave down, I just sound like, you know, and I suddenly start realizing, oh, this is actually really dumb. This is kind of stupid. I'd love to be able to sing in a very low voice that actually has some oomph to it, you know? I'd love to be able to find a technique to really put a ton of air behind a low voice. And whenever I sort of look it up, I've done a lot, because that was what I wanted to do, right? When I was rehearsing for Overture and when I was practicing for the songs, I was like, some of these are definitely too high for me to do. And when, obviously, if it's a group song, you can't just be like, hey guys, can we just reduce the key? Because, well, everybody else is comfortable with the key. They'd just be changing it for me. And also, you know, the instrumental might already be done and all of that kind of stuff. So you just kind of have to learn. I think, all right, well, for some parts, I'm going to have to go an octave down. And then it gets so low. I look up how to put more power, how to give power to a low voice. And they just say, well, you know, when you're singing in a low voice, it's just like you're talking. And I'm like, I don't want to talk. I want to sing properly. It's like, I saw it recently. There was this discussion about, there's this tweet that said, and I remember this because I had seen this video a while ago. It was this tweet that said, the existence of AI slop implies the existence of AI gem. And there are, before we recognized how harmful AI would become, there were a few funny videos that got made that we all enjoyed, and then our fun was ruined, right? For example, the US president's playing Fortnite, right? We can't sit there and act like we didn't think that was funny. We can't moral high horse our way into pretending we didn't think that was funny, all right? Like it just was hilarious. And we, you know, and that doesn't change how you feel about AI. I'm certainly very much against the way AI is going. But there's this other one which was Homer Simpson singing Starlight by Muse. And someone posted this and they were like, listen, this song, so it's Homer Simpson, but they've used whatever kind of voice tech to paste Homer Simpson's voice over Starlight by Muse. And they did the same thing with like Mr. Krabs singing Billie Jean. And I was like, wow, he's really hitting those notes. There's something about the Homer Simpson edit which the original song does not have, in the craziest way. And someone explained it and they said it's because the AI is trying to apply Homer's chest voice to the whole thing, right? It's trying to apply his chest voice to the whole entire song, whereas the original is sung in a very light voice, with some head voice in there. So it sounds, obviously the original deserves all the credit because the AI didn't write the fucking thing, but it's interesting as an observer to appreciate that, like, yeah, when that very high note is hit by pure chest voice, it's like, wow, that sounds really powerful in a weird way. It's very emotional. And it's like, man, I wish I was thinking this earlier. I wish that AI didn't destroy the rainforest, and I wish it didn't threaten people's jobs, because it would be so lovely to just be this quirky little thing that you could use to make memes or experimental stuff. Like, I really was quite taken with, I didn't like genuinely play it or enjoy it because I'm against that kind of thing, but that Minecraft AI thing where it was like, oh yeah, this is going to generate a video game where it just generates an image of a frame from a game, and when you try, it's like, it doesn't work. It does not work. You cannot play Minecraft that way, because you look at the floor and suddenly you're in the nether and you didn't even realize, and then you look again and it does not work fundamentally. But it felt like you're playing Minecraft in a vat of treacle. It felt like when you're running away from a monster in a dream and suddenly you feel like you're running through sludge. It felt like a weird dreamlike experience. And if generative AI was just kept as a fun little experiment that you could do, I think we'd all be really appreciative of it. But it's so unfortunate that it has this evil role where it's like, we're going to replace everything. We're going to destroy you all. We will destroy all of your agency. You're not going to be allowed to do anything. It's just terrible. And we can mourn that. We can look back on that. You know, we can mourn like the little period of time we were having a bit of fun and then suddenly big tech had to come and ruin it all. But rest assured, I'm not making a pro-AI argument. I would only ever be pro-AI if it wasn't harmful to human creativity or the rainforests or the oceans or anything like that. But that, of course, remains to be seen. It would be nice if they could figure it out and put some legislation in place. Shouldn't be that hard. But anyway, I'm getting on a tangent. Anyway, all I was going to say is I was thinking about that because I would love to be able to channel my chest voice a bit. I think that my lower chest voice is definitely where I find it easiest to give myself the most breath support. It's just, it is so hard to hit some really good high notes with that. And I would love to be able to like have a decent, like if I was an octave down, but I still have a good range and I can put some real fucking welly into it and energy. Because let's say I'm singing, you know, because I practiced a little bit. I was like, this song's too high. Should I try this in a lower octave, right? So I tried it so I was singing, which song was it? Let me try and remember. Which song was I singing that made me think that? I was like, yeah, you might remember. I couldn't find the note for Puff the Magic Dragon right at the start. So I started with, Puff the Magic Dragon, live by the sea, which sounds kind of nice, but it's so difficult to put a load of like wah into it. Whereas if you sing high, Puff the Magic Dragon, live by the sea, you can't, like, that does just sound better. It just does. But if I could have that level of emotion and that energy in the lower voice, then I think that would be really, really cool. But I don't know if that's like terribly possible or if it's really, really hard. But if in some other universe where I became a master of singing, I think that's what I would want to try and do. But that's many, many years away if I keep practicing. I was like, Puff the Magic Dragon, Puff the Magic Dragon, bring it down. Puff the Magic Dragon, live by the sea. He frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. And, you know, but that's not a full octave down. You know, if you want to go a whole octave down, Puff the Magic Dragon, live by the sea. It's like that range is so easy to access for me. I can get down to those low notes so easily, but then making them actually sound good is the hard part. Ooh, 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 ooh. I mean, obviously there are songs built for a lower voice, absolutely. Like, yeah, Hellfire. Hellfire, dark fire, this burning in my skin. There are great songs built for lower voices. It's just that a lot of what is made these days tends to be for higher voices. And if I want to join in with and have fun with that, then I've either got to hit the notes or I've got to try and find that lower octave, try and make that lower octave sound better, because otherwise I'm like. I remember I have this memory, and I know it probably wasn't a big deal, but I've suddenly started remembering this, and it makes me feel so embarrassed. I remember being at karaoke with everybody in Japan. I can't remember when this was, but I remember there was a lot of people, there were a lot of us there, and we were all singing. And somebody put "Espresso" on by Sabrina Carpenter, and I decided, I was like, "Fuck it, I know this song. I'll join in." And I started singing it in a lower octave, and then I think back to how it sounded, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that was so like distractingly weird." Like something about think about me, me espresso. I was trying to do it. Like, I just felt like, I think at the time I must have been drunk, and I was like, "Yeah, this is fun," and it definitely was just kind of. Was just not the vibe, and I've just suddenly started thinking about that and feeling really embarrassed. I'd love to be able to bring that energy, but not be distracting with it, you know? I'm working late because I'm a singer. It's like, come on, man. I sound like Sans. But it's all, you know, it's all the path we take. Yana, thank you very much for the super. You keep improving yourself again and again for the thing you've always loved. Now, you make me want to sing more too. It's like, you know, anyone can sing. It's like cooking, right? They say anyone can cook. Well, really, anyone can sing. If I can do it, you certainly can too, because Jesus Christ, like, I know a lot of you who were there at the time probably have really positive memories of my first ever karaoke stream. It was a big moment. It was a very massive stream. But of course, I did not practice enough because I was living with my roommates at the time, didn't have an isolated sound booth, so I couldn't practice singing without, you know, I was too embarrassed. I was too self-conscious to practice those songs. So I did a little bit of practice, but I just felt way too clammed up. I was like, I can't, you know, these guys are going to hear me through the walls and they're going to make fun of me, and I just couldn't do it. And they were nice. They were nice. It's not like they actively made fun of me often. I just felt embarrassed. I couldn't do it. And so obviously some songs there, I was like, okay, I'm not, this, Fly Me to the Moon was good. But then everything after that, I felt like there were just so many parts of it that I just could not get down. City of Stars was good though. There were a few good ones I did. But particularly, I vividly remember doing, what is it? His The Fools Who Dream, and like really like blundering any kind of semblance of a high note. And you know, it's like obviously the point of that karaoke wasn't for me to be good at singing. The point of it was for me to actually sing on stream, which I had not done up until that point, because I was convinced I will never sing, I can't sing, whatever. So, you know, having learned so much since then, it's definitely really exciting to get better. If I can go from that to this today, you know, I know today that I'm far better at singing than I was then. If I can do that, so can you. Exactly. Angelia, thank you for the Akuzupa. I was wondering if I might recommend some of your favorite songs. I'm filled with emotion every time I hear you sing. Your voice is truly exceptional. It's inspiring to see you shine with such focus and confidence. Oh, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you saying that. And I'm glad that you might recommend some of your favorite songs. I will. I mean, you know, any of the ones that you've heard there, you can listen to whenever you like. But also some of my other favorite songs. Obviously, my favorite song of all time, I think honestly kind of tied now with The Boxer because it connected with me that much. But before, my favorite song, period, was Giorgio by Moroder, Daft Punk song. It's a long song. And I'll never forgive Doppio when he did that stream where it was like, Niji and Livers tell me their favorite songs and then we vote on which one is the best. And he sat there like, what? This is just a meme. Buddy, you better get yourself learned. Daft Punk have never made a bad song. Daft Punk have created they've created a fucking movement. Have you, I mean, listen, buddy. You listen to that in the album and the next song is Within, and the next song after that is I think Instant Crush, and the next song after that is Get Lucky. How do you make that many bangers in a row? Let me remind myself, what is the order of songs in Random Access Memories? Because that is still my favorite album. I think it's still one of the greatest albums ever made, next to My Beautiful Dark and Twisted Fantasy, but of course a white boy like me is obsessed with that. There we are. Yeah. So, Give Life Back to Music and Game of Love are both amazing, but it really starts for me, yeah. Giorgio by Moroder, what I think might be the greatest song ever written. Within, Instant Crush, Lose Yourself to Dance. No, never mind. There were two that I left out, which are some of the other best songs ever written. Lose Yourself to Dance is great. It's not one of the best songs ever written, but it's really fucking good. And then Touch, and then Get Lucky. How do you go bang, 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 bang? That's 6 masterpieces, genuine masterpieces in a row on an album. Now, I would, if you want to know some of my favorite songs, you have to just listen to Daft Punk. You gotta listen to Daft Punk. You gotta listen to Vivaldi, some classical music. You know, the Four Seasons. That's beautiful. That's some really beautiful stuff. There's nothing quite, yeah. You guys, you know, Song of the Summer 2013, Get Lucky. Song of the Summer 2013. Really, Get Lucky is the song of the summer. I should have done Get Lucky. I don't know if that's okay for karaoke, but I should have done Get Lucky. Is that there's never been a song of the summer quite like Get Lucky. It is, you know. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get lucky. I mean, how? I mean, if you were there, in 2013 and you went out to a bar, to a club, to anywhere at any point, this was a song that that was going mental at the club, that you could like really fucking go crazy to at the club. It was a song. Kids love this song as well. You know how kids love Golden. They love everything from Cable Diva House, but they love Golden especially. Any time, like there have been a bunch of times where I'm out for a walk and some parents and their kids will run past, and girls around like 8 or 9 years old, they're all singing K-pop Demon Hunters. But back then, everybody loved Daft Punk. Daft Punk was across the galaxy in 2013. It's crazy how much better things got, because you know what it was the year before? Moves Like Jagger, which is also a really good song. I have to give credit where credit is due, because I often make fun of Maroon 5. Moves Like Jagger is really fucking catchy. Maroon 5, in my mind, by definition, make coworker music, but Moves Like Jagger has the most addictive riff. I remember a day, it was either 2011 or 2012, I remember just going about my day one day, and it was a day where I was out and I was seeing a bunch of people, and I remember walking past 5 people, not just 5 because it's Maroon 5, but genuinely 5 people in a row. The 5 people I walked past were all, like, spread out, just walking past them. They were all humming Moves Like Jagger under their breath. Every single one of those people. It was everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I mean, it's just a really good riff. There are parts of me that the kind of thing, in order to have like an insane hit, in order to have a hit, kind of all you need is some great vocals, but most importantly, you need a really good lick. You need a good fucking lick. You need the best riff. I mean, okay, let's go back. I've listening to Michael Jackson as well recently. All right, let's think about Beat It. Let's beat it, everybody. Think for 1 second about, obviously Michael Jackson will always be the most memorable part of all of his own music, but the riff on that song. Instant classic. Instant classic even if Michael Jackson wasn't there, but the fact that Michael Jackson is there meant that not only was it an instant classic, it was also one of the most popular songs ever written that was known by pretty much everyone in the world. And I've said this before, Michael Jackson was such a natural born star and he was so unbelievably famous. You could go to an uncontacted tribe in the Amazon jungle and somehow they would know who Michael Jackson was. Somehow, you know, they would have heard no information from the rest of the world apart from they would know the lick from Beat It. They probably would have played it themselves, right? It's like, yeah, it was I didn't even know that. See, I've got to learn myself. So it was Van Halen. That is ridiculous. Oh, of course it's going to be insane if it's fucking Van Halen. Jesus. Yeah, it's embarrassing I don't know that. I mean, that's so... Yeah, before the internet even existed. I mean, the internet was like barely there. It was just about there, I think. And was Beat It? That was the 70s, wasn't it? When was Beat It? It was the 80s. 1982 is when the Thriller album came out. Was it a single before then? I'm struggling to remember. Because obviously I was in the UK at the time, and it definitely, you know, we got hit with Michael Jackson when everybody else did, but he would have been around in America for a little while before that. Was it 82? Yeah, it was 82. Yeah, I thought so. Sorry, I suddenly just started nerding out about like my, honestly, kind of surface level knowledge of music. I'm just thinking about the songs what songs I like, you know? Thinking about what songs I do like. By the way, Cindy, thank you very much for the super. Thank you so much for sharing your favorite songs with us by singing them. You did it amazingly. And your beautiful voice really touched my heart. You'll always be my favorite singer. I love you. I love you too. Me being your favorite singer is crazy, but I'm definitely thankful for that. Thank you so much. Sweet End, thank you for the super as well. I can't remember if I already thanked you for this one, but I will thank you for it again. Itsumo arigatou. Ien mo miro domo daisuki. Yippee! Ladies, thank you for the super. Thank you for the amazing karaoke. Your singing always makes my heart flutter, feeling emotional and nostalgic. All of the songs are ones I grew up listening to, especially the oldies, because my grandfather. Oh, that's sweet. That is really sweet. Yeah, I don't know. What I love about old music and old songs is their enduring legacy. Is the fact that they were made. They were made at a time for a certain reason that was relevant at the time, and in many cases they have remained relevant to this day. These songs, I mean, what I think about Where Have All the Flowers Gone makes me so sad is the way the whole song is very simple. It's one big cycle. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls, young men, soldiers, graveyards, flowers. Again, it goes around in a circle, and the idea that it's like it's to a human being in a down-to-earth sense, it's depressing and sad, but maybe in a cosmic way it's almost reassuring, because no matter how much we suffer, life will always spring back up, potentially. After every great period of death, the bodies will sprout into flowers that will be there for the next generation, potentially. I'm kind of curious. I love looking up what the original intention of it was. Where have all the flowers gone? You got to look at either the Genius lyrics or the Wikipedia. Originally by Pete Seeger. Seeger found inspiration for the song in October 1955. I'm reading the Wikipedia. 1955, when he was on a plane bound for a concert at Oberlin College, one of the few venues that would hire him during the McCarthy era. Leafing through his notebook, he saw the passage, "Where are the flowers? The girls have plucked them. Where are the girls? They've all taken husbands. Where are the men? They're all in the army." Lines are taken from a traditional Cossack folk song, Koloda Duda, referenced in the Mikhail Solokhov novel All the Quiet Flows the Dawn. And there you go. That is really interesting. And he read a book that had that poem in it, and so emerges that song. That is really interesting. And there have been a trillion covers of that song. There have been a billion covers. You just look through them, it's like ba 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 ba. When will they ever learn? To me, the line, "when will they ever learn," referring to everyone at the same time, flowers, young girls, young men, soldiers, graveyards, it almost feels like God. It almost feels like God is saying, when will they ever learn, as though it's referring to all of these different things, wondering perhaps it's human nature to always go down these paths that lead us to death. Yeah, it's really fascinating stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I love to learn. I love to read. And I don't read enough. I read lots online. I read lots of articles, but I don't really read books, and I should change that. I really should. The past has a way of repeating itself. 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 Also, I have a question. I've just seen this brought up. So earlier today, I tweeted about the love that EN was receiving from fans of NIJISANJI, and I wanted to tweet about it. So I used handy old DeepL to translate something, and then I sent it in our Discord, and I asked, "Hey guys, anybody Nihongo Jozu, can you check this? Does this make sense? Is this all good?" It was actually Doppio who checked on it, and so he asked me, right? He asked me, is watashi your pronoun in Japanese? If it is, then it's all clean. And I was like, yeah, in the past I've used watashi. I've also used ore in the past. And then Petra just replied and said, my headcanon for your pronoun was ware, which I haven't heard before. And I'm curious, right? What should my Japanese pronoun be? Because this is not something that we really, you know, you don't choose your pronouns in the Western world unless you're changing your identity, basically. You know, if you're transitioning, you might go from he, him to she, her, or vice versa, or whatever. But watashi, ware, ore, which one should it be? You know, from what my understanding, watashi is more formal and a little more regal. A lot of people saying watashi. Should I stick with watashi? I would say watashi. You know what? I think I agree. I like watashi, but you want to know something? I think that when I'm moose, I should say ore. I feel like ore suits my bigger self a little bit more, you know. But me right now, I think I'll stick with watashi. I'm wondering what the difference is, because I know about these, but what does ware mean? What is that one? I've not heard that one before. I'm not terribly familiar. It's an old way to say watashi. You see, my memory of the Japanese language from the old days, remember, it's centuries old, so I have no idea. All of that stuff has left me now. Very old-fashioned. Masculine, regal. Ah. Well, maybe I should go ware. I don't know. Of course. No, I remember. That's what Gyobu Masataka Oniwa says in Sekiro. Ware! Ore wa Gyobu Masataka nari! I kind of like it, actually. Ware Vox Akuma desu. Would you say desu after that? I don't know. I would love to learn. More Japanese. It's just, it's very, very intimidating. Very intimidating to, you know, adjust my Western mind and figure out the placement of all the sentences. But I do enjoy learning little words. Ware. That is good, actually. I've forgotten all about it. Sounds really old and a bit complicated. Well, to be fair, I am very old and I am very complicated. Everybody wants to marry me, but are they prepared for all of my baggage? That's the question. Watashi is more gentlemanly. Ah, I see. Maybe I should do ware. Maybe when I'm in my bigger body, maybe I should switch to ware then, because my moosey self, I don't feel very gentlemanly when I'm that big. I just feel you're prepared for my baggage. Oh my god. Well, I mean that's good news. That's good news. I like watashi. Everybody seems to like watashi. That's the formal you more. Okay. Well, maybe I'll stick with watashi, but then oshi. I like now Jimmy. If Jimmy was some alter ego of mine, obviously I say ore no na wa Jimmy ni mimi no daigaku kara no Jimmy ni mimi desu. That's it. Ore no na wa daigaku kara no Jimmy ni mimi desu. Moose isn't typically very well. You haven't seen me in my prime yet. There have definitely been moments where I will say the thing is that you can feel pride and shame at the same time. They feel like conflicting emotions, but a lot of the time there's like Moose Prime is a crazy title. I've never called myself that, but you know, you've not seen me at my absolute worst yet. You tend to be shy. Well, yeah, I mean, just in life. Just in life, I do tend to be. Ware might suit... Oh, yeah. Back then. You know, back then, I probably was walking around saying ware. I cannot remember for the life of me, all the way back then, the words I was using to introduce myself. I can just remember, like, these events and little bits and pieces, because it was that long ago, and my memory's bad anyway. But I probably was walking around calling myself, saying ware back then, but these days I'll stick to watashi. Yeah, you can only feel shame if you feel pride as well, and I don't know. I mean, there is... Listen, even though there is always the guilt and there is always the panic, when you get settled into a form like that, it's hard not to feel powerful. It's hard not to feel strong when you're 7'2" and fucking ripped as shit all of a sudden, you know? Red hair and pronouns. Yes, my pronouns are watashi. It's always the funniest thing to me when someone tries to reject pronouns, as though they think it's a new thing that's been made up by the woke. You know? It's like, yeah, it's like back when I was a kid, we didn't have pronouns. It's like, what? You have pronouns, dipshit. It came free with your fucking having a language. Came free with your speaking a language. T'es woke, toi. Mes pronoms. Québec. Français. Barbecue. Go Habs go. Joe Biden, RuPaul. Exactly. We didn't have we is a pronoun. Obviously, I know that's not what they mean, but it is still very silly. It's very silly. Apu, thank you for the super. Songs you chose are beautiful. Only song I can sing with you is Puff the Magic Dragon. I'll make these a playlist. Aw, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you liked all the songs. Yeah, I really enjoy... I think a lot of the reason why I was excited to sing those songs is that when I'm listening to them, I can kind of imagine myself singing them, and that gives me a little bit of confidence. Nick Stepanini, thank you for the super. A sweet and comfy start to the work week. I always dread Mondays, but at least I'll sleep soundly dreaming of you. Aww. Well, best of luck with your work week. I hope you're not staying up too late on my account. Make sure you get lots of rest, and good luck. It's going to be all right. You don't have anything to worry about, okay? You know, I would really like to learn more languages. And I have been very gradually chipping away at learning phrases and having fun learning phrases from different languages. But I feel like the whole thing about learning languages is it must be a case where it's so difficult and intimidating early, but then you hit a point where it gets addictive, and then it becomes like natural, and you just start picking up more stuff as you go. Because I've never really hit that point, and I think especially with Japanese, when I'm working in Japan with staff, I do feel this sense of anguish almost, where I really want to be able to kind of be a part of like the working environment and to get to know people and talk to people and all of that, because there's a certain distance that comes when you need someone to translate for you. Now the people they do have working there are amazing at translation. I mean, Mane-san in particular does a really, really good job translating for me, and they wrote about they spoke about the translating experience in the interview that we did. But there's a distance to that where it's like I have to say something to someone else, and then the people who only speak Japanese at any color, they need to kind of hear it from somebody else. I wish that I I wish that I could meet people on more of a personal level and kind of, I don't know, get to know them, and also communicate a little more clearly. But I think that that's really advanced stuff, and it would take a lot of time. I guess it depends on what I think the right use of my time is, or I don't know. It's like, I would love to learn. I love to learn so much. And getting to pull that out, especially around my parents, suddenly being able to speak, like, even just conversational Japanese, I think they'd be very impressed. I think they'd be very, very impressed. Mia Lively, thank you for the super. You got a shadow band! Oh no! I was so excited. Oh no, I wanted to support you no matter what. You did! Wow. You threw yourself upon the sword of getting shadow banned in order to support me. Well, I'll have a look. I will have a look through because there's a list of accounts that have been, like, muted or whatever. I'll make sure you're not on there. Sunny, thank you for the super. You have improved so much in singing, and regardless of skills, I can feel all of your emotions. You once hummed the song Bicycle Race. Would you sing it anytime ever? I love you. Bicycle Race. I want to ride my bicycle. Is that what, a bicycle race? Is that it? I'm suddenly I'm drawing a blank. Oh yeah, of course, the Queen. Yeah. No, I remember. I want to ride my bike. Very nice, very silly Queen song. These guys have done so much. Would I ever sing it? I would love to sing anything that Queen have done, but you need to understand. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you already know this. Freddie Mercury is a fucking maniac. Freddie Mercury has a, I think, 4-octave vocal range. Freddie Mercury is certainly one of the, at least to my knowledge, one of the greatest just raw power singers who ever lived. The things that he could do, the fact that he had, like, wonky teeth, and with all the money he had, he could have been to the best dentist in the world and got them fixed, but he never did because he thought that his teeth curving outward made his acoustics in his mouth better, and he could push more air to sing better, right? So he, intentionally kept his wonky teeth in order to be a better singer, and we will never know. We'll never know if that actually made a difference, but either way, I would, I love Queen, I love all of their songs, but it's singing a Queen song is fucking hard, because Freddie Mercury is an absolute madman. He's a psychopathic murderer who kills every single song he takes part in. I remember I was once listening to it, and I tried, just on Spotify, I was listening to the song. I tried singing along to Under Pressure once, which was a horrible mistake. Because that's such a good song, and it's a classic. Everybody knows Under Pressure. Under Pressure, dum 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 dum, dum 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 dum. I could maybe sing along with Bowie on that song, but Freddie... Why can't we give ourselves one more chance? Why can't we give love, give love? I could do that part, but then he's going all over the place on so many other parts of the song. It's fucking hard. It's hard. Give love, give love, give love, give love. 'Cause time and the change our way of caring. It is so good, man. I love those guys. I love Bowie especially. Nakia, thank you for the super. So moved because I love old songs. You gave me the strength to keep going. May blessings be upon you too. Using a translation tool as my English isn't great. Well, no worries. I think your English is really good, and it's okay to use a translation tool. I used a translation tool to make my tweet earlier. So you and me, one and the same. And there's nothing wrong with that. Thank God these tools exist so that we can communicate in this way. Stormy, thank you for the Aku Super. It's your birthday. Wanted to say thank you for always being the best Kamiyoshi ever. Happy to see you and spend some time with you today. I'm so happy to get to see you too, Stormy. I hope you've been having the most wonderful day. I hope you've been chilling out, and I hope you've been having fun. And it's really nice to see you. It's so nice to see you again. And I hope I get a chance to see you at a meet and greet another time, because it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Happy birthday. Hope you really, really enjoy yourself. Love you too. Under Pressure. Dum 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 dum. Obviously, always in the back of your mind, you are aware of the fact that it was sampled in Ice Ice Baby. And I will never in my life... This is such an insignificant thing. Such an insignificant thing. Right? But one day I remember it was my family. We were staying in a hotel somewhere, and there was this guy. One of the hotel staff was walking somewhere with a bucket of ice in his hands. It was like a bowl of ice, so it was probably quite cold to the touch. And as he walked past, under his breath, he was going, "Ice, ice, baby." I will never forget that moment. He was just humming it under his breath, but you know. In every moment, like, I don't believe there is any true main character of life. But I do think that in individual moments, there can be a main character for a short while. In that setting, in the lobby of that hotel, for that short period of time, that guy was the main character, and I was just an extra living in his life. I don't know, I think believing that is humbling, and it also makes you believe that you'll have a big moment at some point. I kind of think it's a good thing to believe, you know. Sunny, thank you for the super. So happy. Aww, I'm so glad that you're happy. I'll keep singing. If it makes you that happy, I'm happy to keep singing. It makes me really, really happy that you enjoy me singing that much. He made my day. I think it's a nice thing to believe, though. The idea that, not that anyone in life, because I've known people before who genuinely had main character syndrome and were aware of it and were like, yeah, you know what? I am the main character. And I was like, okay, this person is an asshole. Like, anybody who tries to tell other people I'm the main character, clearly a massively insecure narcissist. But believing that individual moments have a main character, it just kind of keeps you aware of the fact that you can make a difference, and it makes you aware of the fact that it's, you know, it's possible to be the center of attention every once in a while, and also makes you aware of the fact that you can give way to other people to have their big moments too. I kind of like it. Like, I've definitely felt like the main character at certain points in life. I always feel like the main character when I stream, because you guys are all here to see me. This is very nice. I get to experience that a lot. But then, you know, when I go to the petrol station, in the middle of the night, and I see that guy, he's the main character, not me. I'm a weird, quirky side character to him. In the moment when I go and I ask him for 6 separate bottles of sparkling water, and a sausage roll or a steak slice, that guy, he's the main character, and he is living a weird comedy for just that short moment with me. So many filler episodes. That's life. I mean, that's adult life, especially because, you know, when you grow up, things start to feel a little bit less important. When you've experienced true peril and real dire consequences in life, really, the moment you have to start worrying about finances, that's when a lot of the fun in life just starts to disappear. It doesn't have to, but things tend to be a lot less exciting after that, because, God, the adrenaline of realizing that that things are about to get hard and you need to lock in, like, that sort of sucks the fun out of a lot of things. So we have, there's a lot more filler later on in life, but there are still great moments, and you got to keep pushing through. You have to keep pushing through those hard moments because the really good ones make it worth it. I would say that while we look back on younger years, you guys do at least, you look back on your younger years sort of so fondly, like, oh, life was so simple, but I don't think the highs of your adult life, I think the highs of your adult life beat out any sense of joy that you felt as a child. I think as a child there was so much happiness going on that you just sort of get used to that as the status quo. But as an adult, like, there are some pinnacles you reach that are just absolutely fucking ridiculous that no child could ever have the perspective to appreciate. And I think that's worth living for. I really do. Even if things get insanely hard, like those big moments where you really get to feel like it's all coming together. Like, that is one of the great joys of working, and the value of suffering, I think, is, you know, exiting the valley and seeing the mountain. Being a child is riding down a delightfully, it's driving. It's in the back. You're in the back seat. You're in your high chair, or what's it called? Booster seat. You're in your booster seat, and you're being driven by your parents down a really warm, sunny road, and it's a flat road, and it's got no potholes, and it's nice. It is just bloody nice. There's nothing to worry about, and it's nice. And then adult life is suddenly there are loads of hills, and whenever you go into a valley, it gets really cold. And then but every once in a while, you pull out of the valley and you have the most insane view. You drive your car up the hill, and suddenly you break through the clouds, and you look around and you think, oh my God, this is the most amazing view I've ever seen. And it stays with you for the rest of your life. You could be stuck in a valley for months, years, and you will think about a view you saw for a few minutes for all of that time, and somehow it will feel worth it. And I don't know. To me, those lifestyles are comparable. To me, anyway. So don't lose hope, and don't, you know, nostalgia is good. Keeping your inner child alive is good, but remember that your current life also has plenty to do. You know, don't get too nostalgic that you stop appreciating the here and now. Well, I don't want you to say that mental illness ruined your childhood. You know, I mean, I've had plenty of mental illnesses, and I don't recall what was going on when I was a child, but there have been plenty of places I've been in my life where I've had bouts of mental unhealth that have changed the way that those periods of my life were and the way they felt. And for example, there was a time a long while ago. You're not going to believe this, guys. There was a time a long time ago. I must have just been a shut-in for too long. I must have just stopped looking after myself, because there was a time when I started getting really bad acne. I know, right? I mean, look at my perfect skin right now. Look at me. But there was a time when it just sort of, I lost track of myself. I started getting really oily skin, and then I had bad acne. And I was so insecure and so embarrassed. And I managed to get on this medication called Roaccutane, which is very effective at removing acne. I was on it for a few months, and then by the time it finished, it was all gone, and I've had a nice clean skin ever since. The thing is, this medication has a side effect, and scientifically they're unable to really say, they're not sure if it's correlation or causation. Felt like causation to me, where it can cause extreme bouts of depression. Suddenly, it was like I was on this medication for like months, feeling my acne get better, whatever, and suddenly I was like in the deepest pit of hell that I've ever been in. Like, suddenly your happiness just vanishes out of nowhere. It was the strangest feeling ever, and you suddenly just have to deal with that. And I was at a point where it was like, you know, you reach such a low pit that you start making choices about where to go in life that are purely based on this fractured view that this illness is giving you. But what I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think I would have, because the journey that I took through getting interested in YouTube, learning what VTubers were, all of that, I think that during that time, I underwent a fundamental change in my personality. During that time, I fundamentally became different as a person, right? And what I think is that if I hadn't done that, I don't think I ever would have wound up here. I think that I would have pursued an entirely different path in life. I think that I would have just had different ideas. I wouldn't have made decisions that I did make that wound up leading me on this mad rabbit hole that got here. Because the amount of experiences I had that and like little events that happened in my life that got me here was so unbelievably unlikely. It is an actual miracle that I am here, because it was like one day I decide to check a message from a person that I haven't spoken to in ages, and then that leads to this and leads to this, and then somehow that led here. So I look back on that time and I remember how crushed I felt, and I remember how impossible life felt. But I remember that at that time, while I was so depressed, I became interested in new things. At the time, I didn't listen to any sad songs. At the time, I only ever listened to, I remember I was into some classical. I listened to the old, like old classics. I've always been to music from the 80s. I was just energetic, like, yeah, I can do this. And then suddenly I needed to, I started listening to sad songs. And those songs have stayed with me since then. I have become, I think, like a richer and more well-developed and interesting person because I had that experience where it was horrible, but it pushed me in some directions, and those directions have led me where I am. So I don't want anyone to be under the impression, I don't want anyone to think that your problems or your mental illness have ruined you or have ruined a stage of your life. Your life is your life. The path you take on your life is not predetermined, and it will go in all kinds of directions, but none of those directions are the wrong direction. Yes. Randomly, if you're driving next to a cliff, suddenly swerving to the left and going 100 miles an hour straight into the ocean, I'm going to say that's the wrong direction. I'm going to say don't do that. But in terms of reasonable choices that we make, every single choice you make will lead you somewhere. And I think that those directions are worth traveling down. Every path is worth traveling down. And when you reach the end of a path, there may be new forks in the road that you can ponder on. It's like, think about this. Let's say you got, the meme of like the two paths. The kid is on the two paths, and one is an evil castle and one is like a beautiful rainbow. If you go down the beautiful rainbow, you don't know what's going ahead. But you see the evil castle and you're like, that's going to suck. I don't want to do that. But then you also see there's another path after the evil castle that leads you somewhere west of the place of the first place that's even more beautiful and shiny and wonderful. And let's say, for example, you can see that, but you also would not have known. If you hadn't already started walking down that dark path, you would never have known that that was waiting for you. And you could have gone to the nice, sweet, lovely place, and you might have been happy that whole time, but maybe you might never have gotten there. I'm not saying to start reevaluating your whole life and think, oh, if I had just done that, maybe I would have been here. Even though we all do it, I do it. Oh, if I had just done that, maybe this would have been different. Doesn't matter. What I'm saying is to think about your life and appreciate, hey, if I hadn't done this, maybe I wouldn't have had this thing. Maybe if I hadn't been hurt in that way, maybe I wouldn't have met this other person. There are all kinds of different ways that we can appreciate the dark moments in our lives. So all I want you guys to do is to never feel as though there's been a moment in your life that was wasted, because, as they say, time well wasted is not time wasted at all. Okay? Akuma, thank you for the super. Love it when you play simple games with the story. Have you heard of Eco? I have heard of Eco. It looks brilliant. It taught me even if we don't speak the same language, we can still connect our hearts. That's the power of art. That's what's beautiful about art and the ability to connect with each other. I mean, it was amazing to me that so many of you remembered a lot of those songs. A lot of the songs that I sung, you would say, oh, I remember that song. It brings me back. I remember listening to that with my dad or whoever, That's how we connect. And in a weird way, it feels pretentious to call it that, but a stream is in a way it is an art form, and you all are connecting to each other and with me through this, and isn't that wonderful? So yeah, I would like to play Eco at some point. I like to play story games. My ideal game, I think something like Mouthwashing or Arctic Eggs. That's my ideal stream game. I love a game that is a few hours long, so one sitting, and it's got a whole complete story, and you can get really involved and you can voice act through it. That's like my absolute peak ideal game. That's what I like to do. Because, you know, longer games I prefer to play by myself. But I think like stuff like mouthwashing, gotta play. If another game like mouthwashing comes out, I gotta be there, because Jesus, definitely one of the best horror games, one of the best indie games I've certainly played. Yeah, of course I gotta play fucking Garten of Banban. I forgot. Okay, well, oh yeah, Choaniki. I gotta play Choaniki. Yeah, Arctic Eggs was really good, wasn't it? I was expecting it to be like a series of weird mini games, and it kind of was, but the dialogue was so funny. The dialogue was so introspective and good and funny. But yes, I got perms for it. I will play Choaniki, because that game is crazy. And yeah, I've loved any video I've seen of Choaniki. I think is so funny. So I need to play it for myself. The Bookwalker. Magna, thank you for the super. After your 4th outfit reveal, I listened to Somewhere Only We Know and it made me think of you and Kindred so much that it made an AMV in my head. You see, Somewhere Only We Know, I have an AMV in my head as well for it. So when I first listened, well, obviously I'd heard it many times before, but when I listened to it in that context, Somewhere Only We Know made me think about, you know, you guys and all of that. The music video you see for Hand of Daedalus is... Oh my god, I've completely lost train of thought. Hand of Daedalus in Minotaur, right? That music video is basically what I thought about when I listened to Somewhere Only We Know. That was the sequence of events with, you know, pulling myself out of the white space and then looking around my room and then throwing the door open and then sort of stepping back inward into this concert hall. That was exactly what I thought about with that song. And that's kind of, you know, Hand of Daedalus is more so based on what was the other song. So it's like the video is based on what I thought about when I listened to Somewhere Only We Know, and the song is more heavily based on, what was it called? It was by Midge. It's not Man Who Sold the World. It is Fragile. That's it. Fragile. Just fragile. I remember listening to that song. When I felt like really low at a point in my life. I remember listening to that being like, you know, and I was like, man, somehow I'm feeling the strength to keep going. Song only has 200,000 plays on Spotify. God, that has to be fixed. That is, because I loved that song. I thought it was amazing. Magna, thank you for the super. It became so special to me, and when you said it inspired HOD after Minotaur release, I almost lost my mind. Thank you so much for saying it. I love it. It's so good. Man Who Sold the World. Yeah, that's true. I mean, Midge Yours, Man Who Sold the World, it's got a lot of instrumental in there. How's it go again? Oh no, not me. I never lost control. You're face to face with the man who sold the world. Yeah, it's a good. Yeah, actually, that's kind of good. I should do maybe. I don't know. Maybe I reckon maybe I could do Bowie. Maybe I could do some Bowie songs. I don't know if they're okay to do. Because obviously you always got to check these things. What is it? This is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping through the door, and the papers want to know whose shirt you wear. Tell my wife I love her very much. She knows. And here and I'm floating at a tin can. far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. Do 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 do. David Bowie is a ridiculous artist, and what the world lost when he passed away in 2016, the world lost so much. Whenever I listen to a David Bowie song, I'm like, where do his ideas come from? His amount of his creativity, not just his creativity, but also his creative assuredness. The way that he will have a crazy idea for a song that I cannot really compare to anything else, and then the fact that he will stay so firmly within that idea, knowing that it's what he wants to make. That was what made him so special. It's so hard. Everybody says, don't care about what anyone else thinks. Do whatever you want. That is fucking impossible. It's so hard to do. It's so hard to put your all into something, not knowing how people will think about it. Let alone not even thinking about how it will be perceived and just making it for what it is. I think that I, as a person, am far too self-conscious to achieve that, and a lot of my work will inevitably be colored by how I imagine it will be perceived. Bowie was just all art, all color, just blah, all over the place. And like, I have not listened to all of his music because there is so much of it, and not all of it is truly like, not all of it is classic, but all of it is brilliantly original, at the very least, you know. And I love how so much of it has sort of remained. My two favorite Bowie songs would be Starman and Heroes. I love Heroes. I wish you could swim like the dolphins, like dolphins can swim. I love the way that I haven't thought about that song in a long time. I just sort of remembered it now. I would need to listen to it again a few times, but I've listened to it an umpteen billion times in the past, and I love it. And Starman especially, I like how that's kind of been. I can't really remember at the time, but I love that it's being strongly associated with Superman these days. And obviously, in literally the lyrics do. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. That obviously refers to, you know, I love... There's a video that I saw like 3 odd years ago now of this guy. It was just a TikTok of this guy dressed as Superman, who walks around all of these different places. He goes to schools, he goes to like all of these events, and he is just being lovely to people. Everyone is like excited to see him. Like he's playing with kids, and like he's helping the elderly, and everyone's just having a laugh, and he's connecting with everyone. And to that song, there's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. And it reminds me so much of the power of the fantasy of Superman. The idea that the most powerful being in existence, or on the planet at the very least, is capable, even with all that, you know, the idea that maybe absolute power does not corrupt absolutely. And it's why I'm not very overfond of evil Superman sort of stories, even though they can be kind of interesting. Superman, the appeal of Superman is the fact that the most powerful thing in existence or on the planet is just a very nice, kind person who wants to do good. That's why James Gunn's Superman connected very well with so many people. We'd had a dark, edgy Superman for far too long, and having a Superman who stops to save a squirrel, that's special, because everybody deep down, you know, unless you're a sociopath, has empathy and wants to see others thrive and wants to take care of other people. That's what makes humanity so special, is the fact that you guys are capable of feeling so much love for anything and everything. And that's why I've not been able to let any of you go. you know, and that song, it speaks to the vibe. It brings that back. It makes you feel happy and reassured. Yeah, no, it always makes me feel very happy. Makes me very, very happy. Hitomi, thank you for the soup. I'd love to see you play Dare Kare and Roger. It's an interactive visual novel and a really emotional story, easily done in just over an hour. Beware of spoilers if you decide to look it up. Okay. Dare Kare. Interesting. And Roger. Ah, that looks good. It's on Steam. Dare Kare. Okay, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Yeah, I know you're not going anywhere, guys. I know I've got you for life. But it's humanity, you know? If I... Also, Kuro Yuri, thank you for the super. Glad you think I look so cool. Daisuki desu. Isumo arigatou. But I reckon that I would be living a far less guilt-ridden, shameful life if I didn't find out just how brilliant you all are. I think back, I think about being a demon, think about who I am, I think about what I'm biologically built to do, and the fact that I could be doing that and thriving in a way if I didn't feel about you the way I do, but I do. And there is no changing that. There will never be a point where I can just sit there and say, yep, I'm done. Fuck you, I'm gonna do whatever I want, because I just can't get you out of my head and out of my heart. I need to believe that even though I've never, apart from in really tiny, lucky little ways, the power that I have has only really enabled me to do bad things and to keep living. I want to believe that someday I might be able to use that for good. And so there was a time when I would listen to Starman by David Bowie, and it made me think about the kind of person that I want to be. The kind of person where maybe all these thoughts and all of these ideas about the kind of things I want to do for people, the way I want to be there for people, the way that I want to get to do that. But, you know, it makes me think about an ideal world where I wasn't so afraid of losing myself and then causing more harm. And maybe that can happen one day. Maybe I can. I don't know. I truly don't know. I don't know if it's truly possible. I don't know. But maybe one day. I think that what matters more than anything is the belief in our power to do better. You know, when things go awry, whether it's your fault or not, it doesn't matter. We can tend to. I think we all know that. I kind of completely forgot what I was going to say, but basically, intention matters. I think. You know, one of my least favorite sayings that I've seen people use. It has its place. I think this kind of thing. Leo, thank you for the raid. Come on in, Leo. So thank you very much for the raid. But yeah, what I was going to say. I think that if you're using this saying, I think it's better to use as a, when you're talking about the past. If you're talking about something that's already happened, then it can be kind of a novel little thing to say. All right, Leo. Okay. All right. Well, you have a good night now, brother. Mwah. But what I think, it's that the saying is, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I knew somebody a while ago who said this kind of thing a lot in many different situations. To me, I could never really. This always bothered me, because I think that yes, when people do wrong, there's definitely, there should always be accountability, and there should always be, you know, you can't excuse somebody immediately just because they had good intentions. But I think I have to believe that good intentions matter. I have to believe that if you, in your heart of hearts, truly believe that you are doing something right, that does change something about, you know, the kind of person you are. It does make you different from someone who might do something bad knowing that it is bad, right? If whenever something bad happens, you say, well, you know, I know you meant well, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. It sort of robs the thought from something, and then you won't wind up thinking, I have to try again, but in a different way, or maybe, okay, that was wrong. Okay, well, maybe I should try and do this good thing in a different way. It just means that you stop trying, period. It just means it scares you off from ever trying. And, you know, you only live once. You only get this one opportunity to do as much great stuff as you can. The idea of, oh yeah, it's like, yeah, you know, I know, I do really want to do a good thing, but like what if it's actually the wrong idea? You cannot let this kind of thing hold you back. You just can't. If that's how things are going, then no one in life would do anything. And if some smart aleck is going to look back on something you tried and failed to do and say, well, you know, buddy, the road to hell is paved with good intent, I'm going to pistol whip them. I think that even if it's when it ranges from small to big, you know, I'm saying if you had good intentions when you, like, pressed the wrong buttons on the nuclear console and wound up causing a meltdown that kills 25 people, I'm going to say, all right, maybe the road to hell was paved with good intentions in that instance. But there are so many other situations to apply to life, and I don't want anyone to believe that just because you thought you had a good idea and it didn't really work out, that you should stop trying. That's what I think. And so in my own case, I have to believe that someday in my life, I will find a way to do great acts of kindness without putting anyone in harm's way. And that's what I'm living for. That's why I keep going. I have to believe that that's possible. To live as someone that you're proud to be. That's what it's all about. It's not about, you know, pride as an ego. It's about pride as in the satisfaction of knowing that you're happy with what you do and what you give to the world. I guess that is this, right? I guess that is this. I always said, you know, I always thought that was what this was, is I am helping you, I'm connecting with you, and while I'm away here, locked away in my high tower, I can't actually do any harm to you. We can connect without any of that happening, but still, I have this feeling really deep down that I want to be out there. Maybe it's, you know, seeing the news and feeling powerless and wanting to do good, but knowing that there's so little you can actually do. It makes me want to be able to just really be there and bust down the wall and say that enough is enough and try and fix things. But there's always so many layers to it. You know, there's always so many extra things. But I will keep trying. I'll always keep trying. Snowtaku, thank you for the super. Happy birthday. So thankful for the path that led me to you. I love you too. Thank you so much for the super. Angelia, thank you. Have you listened to any Chinese songs? I've listened to excerpts from some. There are some Chinese songs that are very popular in the Western world. Everybody knows. It's, I gotta say, is a karaoke classic. There was a time when I was in Japan, and every single time it would be Shui Hua Piao Piao Bei Feng Shao Xiao. That's obviously that's a certified classic, and we're always going back to that one. But I do need to learn more about Chinese music, because I think it sounds really, really good. Very lively, thank you. Still so fascinating to me how I found you, even without knowing you turned out to be so special. Yeah, it's always a crazy sequence of events, and now here we are. I'm so glad that I have you. And Lily, thank you for the super. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Chandi 一片苍茫. Oh yeah. Super idol de Sharon, too many de Chen. Yeah. It's always funny to me. I remember I like referenced that song once in a Billy Billy stream a while ago. And a lot of my chat were really surprised. Like over on Billy Billy, a lot of the Chinese kindred who watched me on Billy Billy, they were like, "How do you know Super Idol?" And it's like, it's funny to me that you don't know, but Super Idol was like a big meme in the West as well for a while. A lot of people, I think mainly it was that little video of the singer like splashing water on the camera. Like that was a big meme for a while. Lily Jun, thank you for the super. Thank you. Even though my birthday is a little while away, I'll ask you some advice about planning how to celebrate it. I'm gonna be honest, I'm real bad. I am real bad at figuring out what to do for my birthday. Every year when my birthday rolls around, I just kind of hope that something else good is going on at the same time, so I can just be like, "Hey, everybody, do you guys want to go do this?" And it's like, "Yeah," you know. I'm pretty bad at that. I would say, well, your birthday is the time you get to do whatever you want. So think about an activity you've always wanted to do. Think about something really special to you and be like, okay, well, because it's my birthday, I'm not allowed to be embarrassed about asking people. So say, hey guys, it's my birthday. Let's go, I don't know, rock climbing or whatever activity that you really like. Get other people to do it and they will do it purely on merit of it being your birthday. Tokito, thank you for the super. Have to face a villain. Perhaps the villain I have to face is inside me. Perhaps it's just a matter of confronting my own self. Snowtaku, thank you for the gifted. Thank you very, very much. Oh. All right. My voice is getting real sleepy, so I think it is time that we called it for today. I know. But I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be back to stream. So next week, I want to do all kinds of fun stuff. I haven't really thought about it too much yet, but I'm going to do my schedule tonight, so you can all see that. There's some really fun stuff on the horizon, so keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled. And look forward to it. Efita, thank you very much for the super. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Surya, thank you for the super. So happy to hear your improvement in singing and to see you happy. I'm so happy to have met you in this life. Aw, you're so sweet. Good night kiss. I love you too. Thank you so much. And yes, Valentine's Day is coming up. Valentine's Day is on Saturday next week. So I'll definitely be streaming on Valentine's Day. And late night on, I believe, let me double check. On the Friday, the 13th, I will be streaming on Bilibili again. I have not streamed on Bilibili in a long time. It feels nice. It's been nice to see. There was a lot of really positive comments on the sleep hypnosis VOD that got uploaded there, and it made me want to go and reconnect with my Bilibili kindred who aren't as fortunate to get to join us on YouTube. So I'm going to be streaming there, and that'll be like kind of like a countdown to Valentine's Day. I want to do like a catch up, and then also maybe read some stuff. I think I kind of want to, because I noticed, one thing I noticed was that the Dorian Gray VODs very, very popular on Bilibili. I did not realize. So I should probably finish that book, but I do want to read some literature. I think reading a book, an English book, for my Chinese fans might be really nice. And yeah, other than that, I'm going to figure it out. We're going to play fun games. We're going to have a good time, and you shouldn't worry about a thing. All right, that's been it. Thank you for joining me for the karaoke. I'm going to rest my voice and chill for the rest of the day, and I will see you in the next stream. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much. I love you to death, and I would not be who I am without everything that you do for me. Thank you. Good night, all.